As a result of all the hype, FOMO and FUD that's fueled by the continuous cycles of bull and bear markets, it seems the true meaning behind the mass adoption of blockchain technology has in some part been lost in translation, replaced with a sole focus toward an event where an influx of new investors buy up a particular currency that in turn will favourably increase its price. But whilst there's nothing wrong with personal gains and using crypto solely as an investment vehicle, I'm for one far more intrigued about the value that lies beyond this, beyond the crypto market cycles, into a world where a system is utilised by governments, big business and individuals alike. A future where through the use of this technology, the playing field is levelled and opportunity rife, improving the lives of everyone that chooses to participate in it. If one blockchain is able to achieve this kind of adoption, then no doubt a great decoupling would occur. It's for this reason I place my focus on the technology rather than the current market valuations. Now, whilst it's still a long path ahead, if we're looking at the mass adoption of blockchain technology, then solving the blockchain trilemma, banking the unbanked and realising true governance, whereby not a select few but every participant has the platform to guide its evolution, I would say are all fundamental in actually delivering this. It's my belief that Cardano, through taking the peer-reviewed approach, is making all the strides in this direction and is paving the way to become the world financial and social operating system. Welcome back for today's instalment of Cardano Insights, where we track the all-important developments at the very pulse of Cardano and its ecosystem. So let's get straight into it. First up today, let's get the week started with a look at some of the key takeaways from the latest IOG development update. Following on from Scotfest, one of the most notable announcements made was the introduction of the first Voltaire Cardano improvement proposal, known as SIP 1694, which marks the true beginnings of laying down the foundations for decentralized decision-making on the Cardano blockchain. Last week, the Ledger team released the Voltaire SIP to the community, which describes a mechanism for on-chain governance that will underpin the Voltaire phase of the Cardano roadmap, which runs in parallel with the Basho era of scalability. The Voltaire SIP builds and extends on the original Cardano governance scheme that was based on a fixed number of governance keys. The main aim for the introduction of this SIP is to provide a first step to begin building the valuable framework that is technically achievable in the near term as part of the proposed Voltaire governance system. This SIP also intends to act as a launchpad for encouraging further community participation in the process, as continuing community input surrounding what is likely to become the most difficult and impactful phase of the Cardano roadmap is crucial if we're to realise true governance of the system. Being only the initial proposal, now that the Voltaire conversation is well and truly underway, subsequent proposals may adapt and extend on this proposal to meet emerging governance needs identified. I'm going to do a more in-depth analysis on the Voltaire SIP and of course continue to closely follow progress here as developments unfold. In terms of wallet focus, last week work continued on the latest desktop development. The team's currently in the process of merging development streams for both the browser and desktop teams to work in a single environment, align their processes and make tracking progress easier to further streamline the development focus. The Lace team also progressed on Lace Proof of Concept development, which allows embedding dApps into the Lace desktop application. They also worked on the local Cardano node to enable transaction sending and resolve some hardware wallet issues that were found. The QA team is now running multiple end-to-end tests for Lace browser and desktop applications, continuing the IOG approach towards rigorous testing. Last week, developments surrounding SecP, a community-led initiative that will see the introduction of a new cryptographic primitive to be implemented at the next chain upgrade event to enable secure cross-chain dApp development, improve the developer experience and pave the way for Plutus to easily verify transactions from other blockchains has continued. The performance team have been working on enabling SecP benchmarking, and the Plutus team finalised the completion of SecP 256K1, built in for Plutus, which is now in the final stages. Now to Basho and all things related to scalability. The Hydra team released version 0.8.1, which includes several fixes and an extension of the persistence of replaying server outputs to make clients like the Hydra TUI aware of the latest Hydra node state. The team also worked on specification and closing gaps in the on-chain scripts and collaborated with the education team on a Hydra tutorial. The Mithril team released a new distribution, upgrading the Mithril test network's infrastructure to make them more resilient, and continued refining the release process, fixing some minor bugs. They also continued working on the SIP design that proposes connecting the Mithril network to the Cardano network layer so that the latter will handle the main networking capabilities. Finally, with the funding rounds temporarily paused in an effort to streamline and extract more value out of the Catalyst process, IOG and a selection of the Project Catalyst community hosted a workshop at the Cardano Foundation Summit to help define action points, shape its future, and outline the direction needed in order to progress the project as a real driver of innovation and growth in the Cardano ecosystem. This started by identifying a need for a charter that provides a framework to empower the community to self-determine the next era of Project Catalyst. Of all the workshops, it was found to be the most popular across the entire summit, with over 50 participants engaging in thought-provoking and progressive discussions. The outcomes and next steps will be shared at the next town hall meeting on November 30th, which can be watched live on IOG's official YouTube channel. I'm personally very interested in seeing the evolution of Project Catalyst, and like many in the community, I'm fully behind an overhaul to ensure the Cardano ecosystem realises maximum benefit from its existence. This is a great step in that direction, and we'll be sure to follow up on this in future videos. For a full overview of the most recent IOG development update, see the link in the description below. Next up, and in celebration of 1 year of Cardano DeFi, tonight Muesliswap will be holding what promises to be an epic Twitter space surrounding the most important Cardano DeFi topics. The space will be moderated by Rick McCracken and will include project guest speakers from World Mobile, Meld, Eternal Wallet, SundaySwap, Coty, Charlie 3, Indigo Protocol, with special appearances from Ergo, Hosky, and one final special guest, possibly Charles. So in terms of the format, each project or speaker will get 10 to 15 minutes to talk about their respective topics, such as stablecoins, wallets, lending, or oracles, and after we'll get one question from Hosky and one from the audience, which is likely to be an extremely interesting listen. Muesliswap closed this thread with, even though it's our birthday, the space will be all about Cardano DeFi. We aim to showcase just how far we've come together and what users can expect in the coming year. We invite everyone to join and hear what the Ghost Chain is all about. Spoiler, it's world changing. The space kicks off at 7 PM UTC. For more details, to set a reminder and see the timetable set for guest speakers, check the link in my description. Now to some positive crypto mainstream Cardano exposure. You may remember last week we covered DeFi Llama's recent inclusion of Indigo Protocol's IUSD stablecoin to the stablecoin dashboard on their DeFi and TVL analytics platform. Well, the week ended with two further Cardano inclusions. First, DeFi Llama announced that Shareslake's stablecoin RUSD, which was technically the first stablecoin to launch on the Cardano blockchain, and a project that we covered in some detail in a previous episode, is now being tracked. Following this announcement, DeFi Llama also confirmed that now Indigo Protocol themselves, who have very quickly risen the Cardano TVL ranks since launching last Monday, are now also being tracked on the platform. As I mentioned last week, with more Cardano protocols and stablecoins being listed on platforms such as DeFi Llama that are used by blockchain users across the entire space, will go a long way in promoting the growth we're experiencing and utility that's being made available in the Cardano ecosystem to a much wider audience. I'm sure we can expect many more inclusions to follow as more projects deploy and user activity grows in the coming months. Next to another project we briefly covered last week, where we took a look at their most recent development update. anetaBTC, who are building a decentralized protocol that will enable on-chain wrapped Bitcoin on both the Cardano and Ergo blockchains, are now deep in development and nearing the public testnet launch on Ergo. If you've been following progress of anetaBTC, then you'll already be aware that they'll first launch on Ergo and then turn their development focus towards Cardano. So in terms of the project's success and Cardano development, the Ergo deployment is crucial, hence why we've been tracking the progress closely here. Well, this weekend we got the news of a pretty significant development. Here anetaBTC announcing this tweet the successful minting of eBTC on Ergo's mainnet. They provided the transaction information and also confirmed the full demo will be released later today. This marks another big step towards wrapped Bitcoin coming to Cardano, and we'll continue to monitor progress as more developments unfold. Now, despite recent events that saw the exit or failure, depending on which way you want to look at it, of both the Cardano and Orbis projects, who were being built in parallel by the same team, and failed to deliver the development promised in an extremely distasteful fashion, this next item shows we are still, however, able to find some positives at the end of what was a pretty dramatic chain of events that unfolded in the ecosystem. In true Cardano style, the positive and proactive reaction to such events, at least towards the work being undertaken on the Orbis side, is for me very encouraging. As you may be aware, Orbis were working towards improving scalability on Cardano with the implementation of zero-knowledge proofs using zk-SNARK rollups, which ultimately aims at increasing transaction throughput whilst maintaining the security and decentralization of the blockchain. Orbis were believed to be carrying out significant work in this area. zk-SNARK rollups, short for zero-knowledge succinct non-interactive argument of knowledge, are to play a key role in blockchain scalability efforts. In short, zk-SNARK rollups can be simply broken down to zero knowledge, meaning that it does not prove anything more than is needed by, for example, not revealing any information other than the statement being made is true. Succinct, meaning small and easy to verify. Non-interactive, as it's constructed without interaction between the two parties involved in the transaction, the prover and the verifier, and argument of knowledge, being the proof itself. The reference to rollups means to roll multiple ZK Snark transactions into one ZK Snark, therefore presenting a batch of transactions as a single, succinct and cryptographically secure piece of information to be stored on-chain that can be easily verifiable. So it would seem that the exit of Orbis has left a big hole to fill in this area of research and development. However, late last week, we got some news coming out of DC Spark, a development team with a proven track record of being an extremely reliable and highly capable ecosystem builder, who have so far contributed greatly to the build-out and delivery of critical infrastructure that has progressed the development on Cardano massively. I think many in the Cardano ecosystem will be very happy to hear. Here Sebastian from DC Spark dropped this tweet announcing, maybe now's a good time to say that at DC Spark we're building a zero-knowledge research and development team, welcoming members throughout the community that are interested to join to reach out directly. So hopefully DC Spark can significantly contribute, progress and ultimately finish off the work Orbis had started in this area, which, like I said, when you look at their track record for delivery, this is indeed a fantastic piece of news. Sebastian also made a short YouTube video on the Orbis and Cardano situation, which offers some great perspective and his takeaways from the situation that would definitely recommend everyone having a look at. During the video, he explained that the 10 million budget that was somewhat squandered by Cardano and Orbis is more than the cost of all the projects delivered by DC Spark and Milkameda combined, which in itself is pretty eye-opening when you consider how much they've been able to contribute in terms of actual real-world delivery in the projects they've carried out. Anyway, I think it's a real positive move to have DC Spark now actively building a zero-knowledge R&D team, and I look forward to seeing what materializes from this initiative. As always, we'll continue to track further progress here on Cardano Insights. So that's it for today's installment of Cardano Insights, as we keep track of the developments and continue to spread those positive Cardano vibes. If you found value in the content and want to help Sapien achieve more throughput, then please be sure to comment, share, like, subscribe and hit that notification bell, which is the best way you can help support the channel. We'll be back soon with your daily roundups. Until then, thanks for watching, have a great day, and as always, keep it Cardano.